Yeah, lots of them. There's some little springboks there, about 5 of them. We just rescued a big tortoise. Big boy. Oh, did you check his sex?
No, I didn't.
Okay. But a big tortoise, we rescued him off the road. We took him down a way. He's going to be telling his friends tonight, I was abducted by aliens, and they're going to be, give up the drink, George. But anyway, we're coming into a town called Dar, and nothing really specific Boer War here, but in all the books I read and the accounts of the Boer War, Dar is often mentioned as it's a main railway junction. The British troops coming from Cape Town or from the coastline were sent up here at Dar and then dispatched to the front to fight. Now, I've been following some other people on YouTube called the Dust Bugs, a husband and wife from Cape Town. They travel on the dusty roads, the potholed roads. That's where they like to explore. So you could check them out yourselves on YouTube. But anyway, they came here once to Dar, and there wasn't much they reported, but they did go and look at the train station, and that's where we'd like to go, or I'd like to go, just to have a look where all those troops were sent from. So once we get into town, we'll have a bit of a closer look at Dar. So just stopping for a moment in Dar at the huge railway junction. It's difficult for me to get through. In fact, it's going to be impossible for me to get through. But you can see an old example of a railway carriage there. There's a bit of litter for us. If you could get up high, there's at least 1, 2, 3 lines there, but on the other side of the platform is another 3 or 4 lines at least. This is a huge rail junction, or it was. Now it's all overgrown and abandoned. That railway building in the middle there's all smashed the windows because the railway system in South Africa has collapsed. The big old hotel there would have been some imaginative name like the Railway Hotel. You can see it's got the balcony. People would have popped in there. Maybe you'd just stay overnight waiting for your train in the morning. Maybe you'd get off the train, have a few drinks or a meal before resuming your journey. It's all boarded up. The wires are hanging out the door. It's ready to be vandalised and smashed up and then made useless. You know, with all the housing shortage they have here, you'd think people would live in these places they smash up, but they don't. Pat says it's to do with ancestors, that they think white people lived in there, so they're happy to steal everything, smash everything, steal all the fittings but they won't live in it because white people's ancestors are there. I don't know how much truth is in that. So, yeah, you can't go onto the platform or go under the platforms. But, yeah, the reason I find this of interest, as I said in the introduction, is it was a huge junction for the Boer War soldiers. They were funneled up here from Cape Town on the train and then shipped up the front, and the line branches across. One goes up to Kimberley, the other goes up to Pretoria. So any history of the Boer War needs to have mention of Dar.
This is it, my friend.
So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's a whole heap of lines on the other side of that.
It would
Wow.
have been a busy station in its day.
That building's all smashed up.
Yeah.
All the
I remember as well for a lot of the troopies. Remember the troopies going up to go in the Border War?
I bet, yeah.
The Art was also
bet.
well big, boarding the train to go up to Pretoria or wherever.
I bet, yeah. Nothing to see now. I mean, all the platforms are cracked, overgrown, and I think there'll be occasionally a freight train come through, but definitely no passengers.
No.
Sat up there, you might stay the night waiting for your train.
Yeah.
They're real.
Just imagine that.
Or you get off the train, have a meal, and wait for your next transport.
Yeah. You can imagine the officers, the British officers.
Yeah. I don't know why they're so paranoid about their train lines. It's not like there's nothing to destroy, it's already destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. What the heck are we going to do as well, you know?
Unless they think I'm filming to steal their railway tracks or something.
Yeah, we look criminals, don't we?
Yeah, she was real touchy about taking photographs in there. There was this big bloody lamp thing that was an old antique. I asked if I could take a photo of it, and she was very firm, no. Even the photographs or the Osmo footage I took on the platform, if she knew I was filming, I would have been thrown in cuffs and marched to the Dar reformatory to be quizzed by detectives. But yeah, they didn't know. What they don't know doesn't hurt them. Don't know why they're so protective of their railways when they don't look after them. Why protect a resource when you let it be smashed and broken and unused? So what happens to that hotel? Yeah, if any of you come out in 5 years to Dar,
So it was fought on the 23rd of November, 1899. Now remember, you know, when you're talking about Pink Hill and West Australia Hill, that was in the February of 1900.
That's right, yeah.
So these were much prior.
Yeah.
See, so here we go. The context was that, you know, we started in 18 October. General Sir Reverend Bullis concerned himself with events at Ladysmith. General Lord Paul Methuen was sent up the railway line from Cape Town to relieve the siege of Kimberley. The Boers attempted to halt his advance at Belmont. So this is the first one. So of the Australian regiments, let me just see. I did see here. Where did I see it? The Royal Engineers. I swear there was an Australian regiment also. North. There you go.
New South Wales Lancers.
Yeah, but I've read there was only 29 men.
Yeah.
So it wasn't many Australians involved. In fact, this whole Western Front, there's not that many, I feel, Australian soldiers who fought in.
I think you got to think of the three advances. So you got Buller coming up through Natal.
That's it.
You got is it Roberts, the central one? He's heading for Bloemfontein.
That's right.
And we've got Methuen racing to relieve the diamonds at Kimberley.
Kimberley, yeah.
And Cecil John Rhodes is in Kimberley.
Yeah. So what happened is that on this day, when they, the railway station, again, look at the difference of looking. Oh wait, that's
see, seatbelt, the wind and the seatbelt.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I've got you with the wrong one. That's about to Belmont. We should be Graspan.
Oh, aren't we at Belmont?
Yeah, this is Graspan. No, that was Belmont. Yeah,
I think the sun's got to you.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, the sun has got to me. I thought yeah. But look at those hills. Look at this. The artists. Remember, I showed you in the museum the other day how those hills are nothing like that whatsoever.
Not quite.
No, certainly not.
Although, depends which angle. That flat one, maybe be that one.
Yeah, that is what they call Tafelkop. So that's where the Boers were all in the Free State Commanders were all on the top. So basically, this was a classic infantry one.
Yeah.
They stormed these hills and they chased the Free State. The Free Staters unfortunately do not cover themselves in glory here. in this battle, and the one which is further down the railway line at the Battle of Graspan. Both times the Free States were defeated. But Methuen didn't follow up.
No.
You know, he could have caught them, but he didn't.
He probably bombarded the bridges with his artillery, then moved forward and they pulled back.
And they just pulled back all the time. So, as you can see, the railway line now will be with us all the way right up.
Yeah, Kimberley.
Later on at the Battle of Model River, the Boers do blow up the bridge when it's crossing the Model River. Oops. There you go.
There you go, yeah. Thanks.
There you go. Right, yeah. So really, you can't see the station, but you can just see just over there the port. That's where they come down, because the Boers started to shoot the trains. So Methuen sent his officers out, his battalions out to get it.
Yeah.
In this battle, though, the British lost 283 men.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that will give you an idea.
It's not a skirmish. It's a battle.
No, it certainly was.
For you fans of high casualties, you'd enjoy that.
Yeah. The Grenadier Guards had lost the most heavily. On the Boer side, about 80 Boers died and 70 were taken prisoner. The Boer leader, Chief Commandant Jacobus Prinsloo, was never to lead the Orange Free State Commandos again. The Boers had learned that they needed strong leadership and clever tactics to counter the discipline and numerical superiority of the British Army. Methuen was able to continue his advance up the line, but he was soon to be opposed again, less than a day's march from Belmont. So, yeah, once again, Terry, if you can use your vivid imagination, you can hear the artillery shells and the men going all across, walking up here. Yeah.
The troops marched out at around 3 a.m. on the 23rd of November, well after the intended start time of 1:30 a.m. The 9th Brigade advanced on Table Hill, the 1st Northumberland Fusiliers on the left, the 1st Northamptonshires on the right, and 2nd King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry, and 2 companies of the Royal Munster Fusiliers in reserve. The Guards Brigade on the right moved towards Gun Hill, the 3rd Grenadiers on the right, the 1st Scots Guards on the left, with the 2 Coldstream battalions in reserve to the right of the forward line. In the darkness of the early morning, the Guards line moved to the right, losing the essence of a flank attack and committing the troops to a frontal assault on the Boer positions. The wire fence along the railway line, which was in the way of the advance, was cut using axes, as no wire cutters were on issue. Alarmed wild animals were put up as the British troops marched forward. It was feared that the noise must warn the Boers of the impending attack on them. In fact, the Boer commanders, without carrying out proper surveillance of the advancing British force, assumed it was still at Freeman's Farm awaiting its transport. The dawn came at around 4 a.m. The British line had advanced around 4 miles, but was still some distance from the Boer positions. Both brigades were marching across open veldt. When the rising sun showed the Boers the threat to their positions, they opened a heavy fire on the advancing British infantry. The 2 leading Guards battalions, the 3rd Grenadiers and the 1st Scots Guards, went to ground and fired volleys at the Boer positions for around half an hour, while the 9th Brigade continued to scale Table Hill to their left. At 4:30 a.m, the 2 batteries came up and went into action, shelling the Boer positions with shrapnel. The Guards continued with their advance and, in the face of heavy but largely ineffective fire, stormed the hill. The Boers on Table Hill and Gun Hill did not wait for the final bayonet attack, but hurried away down the far hillside to where their ponies were tethered and rode back to join their comrades on the next line of koppies. By the time the British infantry reached the top of the hills, the Boers had gone. The British artillery opened a barrage on the Boer second line, which was answered by the Boer guns and continued for an hour and a half. At around 5:45 a.m, the British resumed the advance. The Grenadiers and Scots Guards headed straight up Mount Blanc, with much of the 9th Brigade coming down off Table Hill in behind the 2 Guards battalions. The 2 Coldstream battalions moved further to the right and stormed the Boer position on Razorback and Sugarloaf Hills. Some companies of Coldstreamers put in an attack on the extreme left of the line. Again, once the attacking British infantry reached the summits of the hills, the Boers jumped on their ponies and raced away, bringing the battle to an end. 1 or 2 further positions were occupied by small parties of Boers and cleared by the British, but broadly the battle was ended.
All along, on both sides.
Yeah.
On both sides.
To the fort!
Yeah.
on, lads, take that ridge.
Take that ridge, and they did.
Oh.
Fixed bayonet.
Fixed bayonet. They don't like the steel. They don't like it up them.
That's right. That is right. Now, throughout these battles as well, Cherry, how I feel is that both the Boers and the British again use the topography, the layout of the land to the benefits. Yeah. So, you know, not as many hills as what we experienced there down in Colesberg. You're going to get more individual type of hills, but higher ground advantage. But after on the second battle, De la Rey saw that, hey, hang on a minute, this thing sitting on top of a hill and shooting down the enemy is not so effective. The trajectory of the bullets is not really as effective hitting the soldiers, the enemy. So on the third battle, which is the Battle of Model River, this is where you get your first signs of trench warfare in the South African War, on this war front, because De la Rey came up with a clever idea. Instead of putting his soldiers on the top of the hill, he put his soldiers, I'm going to show you where the river is, in front of the river with trenches, and the British were totally unprepared.
That's it. Let's show them some of that. See how they like it, lads. Let's give it back at them. Let's give it back with interest. Well, is it Fontaine or is it one of their generals? Is it Warchop? Is it one of their generals was shot as a memorial to him? Looking forward to seeing that.
Shot right in the front there. And then also part of it was Colonel Edison. To prove because Kitchener was in charge of that battle, and he was just sending in the
because in one of those letters from the front, from the men from my district, one of them writes about getting the train up towards Kimberley, and they got out to see the memorial to General Warshop.
Yeah.
So it must have been there.
Yeah. Well, the grave, he's actually, I think he's now buried in Fontaine, but the graveyard is here at the town called Modder River, and we'll go pop into the cemetery there so you'll see where he's buried.
I thought it was a memorial on the battlefield.
There is also, I'm sure there is one there.
Okay.
Let's see where I can find that thing.
This is some of the most inhospitable terrain that you're going to want to encounter, folks. Look at this crap. Look. You know, you're going to feed that to a horse? There's nothing in it. There is a bit of greenery, but they're probably thorn bushes. This is the cruelty of this land. You see something, oh, that's green. There must be something nutritional there. You get up to it, and it's a stinking thorn bush. There's some cactus there. Okay. Uh-oh. Here comes a call. What do I want? They could never say where they came from. Goeiedag, meneer. Yesterday don't matter. Now they're gone. He slowed up because he thought we had technical issues.